Going live. Live. Mic check. All right. Seems like it's working. Hello and welcome. I don't know if anyone's in here yet, but welcome when you do come in. Monthly Q&A, January 2025. Hey, Twin Arrows, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. So yeah, we'll get some people creeping in. So, as always, I will answer the community post questions first that was posted at the beginning of the month. I think there's only like one question maybe, so get that answered, and then just sit here and chill, shoot the breeze with everyone in the live. Shirt of the day, band of the day. Dragged into sunlight. Courtesy of Holy Mountain Printing. Camera check. There we go. Ron Striker, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, shirt of the day, band of the day. Dragged into sunlight. Yeah, got that one through Holy Mountain Printing. I don't know if they even do the merch for them anymore. Joe Morgan, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Candy pecans. Ooh, sounds good. I am doing Rubens later. Reuben gang. All right. I'm going to answer the community post questions first. Again, I think I only had one. So then I'll knock that out and just shoot the breeze with everyone here in the live Q&A for like 2 hours. And talk about topics you got, questions you got, all that. One round left. Hey, dude. Metal for breakfast. Hey, dude. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Yeah, Jersey Mike's used to do with them. Their Philly cheese sandwiches are good. I've got a Jersey Mike's not too far from me. I like going with the classic, the number 9, the Club Supreme. That's always a good one. But their hot sandwiches are good too. All right. As always, answer the community post questions first. I only got one, and then we'll just shoot the breeze here. There's a couple of comments all about the meme because the Behemoth Demigod album is, in my opinion, their best album they ever did. Super good. That's their best era. But anyway, the community post questions. Let's see. Yeah, they got one question from Jacob John /RC4S6 SX. Thanks for the question. His is, does it work good to increase retention on a Kydex knife sheath that fails to retain the blade and it keeps falling out, to heat up the Kydex and let it reform more snug around the blade? So, your initial forming with Kydex is when you do a full heat, like in the oven and stuff, to get that heating. Afterwards, to maintain better integrity of Kydex, you're going to want to do focused points of heating with a heat gun or a blow dryer if it gets hot enough, to get some of that form and compression. So you're going to have to heat it, get it pressed, and really get that retention reset. You don't want to do a whole reheat on the thing. You can, but it's better if you do it in a more focused kind of areas with a heat gun after the fact, after it's been initially formed. That's what I've got. That's what I understand of it. I'm not a Kydex guy as far as dealing with those materials or anything, but that's what I understand about it, and from people I know that do things with Kydex. So basically, just kind of maybe an area wherever, if it's up near the hilts and the base of the tang, the ricasso and stuff, or wherever the retention is overall for the knife into a Kydex sheath, you heat that area and do some compression, and then let it cool, and it'll cool down and keep that form for better retention with Kydex. So that's about what I got for that. So it's a good question, and that's what I know about it, and kind of just picking the brain of some of the dudes I know that do that. So that's the response that I got. So Good question. Thanks, man. All right. Comments here. Tornadoes shirt is based. Yeah, great band. They got screwed over by the label they were with. I think it was Roadrunner Records or Prosthetic. I think it was Roadrunner. They really screwed them for the long run. They're putting out, or they just put out a Dragged into Sunlight. Just put out, I think, a box set, which is awesome. Yeah, one round left. It has been a minute. Glad you're putting videos up again, man. Yeah, ribbons are good. Joe, life is difficult. Don't have Social Security, car, home, or money. I got a 25-year-old broken on the regular. I got a chunky cowgirl. Mouth hugs. Even trying to fool with. Hey, silver linings, right? Joe. Yeah, tornadoes. Yeah, that's good. Jersey Mike's is delicious, man. It's super good. My favorite sub food chain, veteran owned. They did just get bought by one of those capital holdings groups, but the people that are running Jersey Mike's currently are going to keep running it. So that's, I guess, a silver lining, so to speak. Metal for breakfast. Yeah, it was a great question. Firm up the grip on one of your heavier leather sheaths. Leather's a little bit different. I would talk to Modern Frontiersman, Josh Fortner, Fortner's Frontier Leather. He'll be able to give you some good pointers on leather forming. I'm sure you have some experience with that metal for breakfast, but just for another guy to help pick their brain, like he would be a good guy to talk to about that. He knows his stuff. Tornadoes, watching the weather. Got crazy stuff coming to North Carolina and the Midwest is getting hammered. Yeah, we were supposed to have a pretty good snowstorm tomorrow. It got pushed back to the beginning of next week. We really don't have any snow on the ground here, at least in the southern half of my state, and we're pretty far north. North half of the state has snow, and all the lakes and stuff are frozen over and everything. But the major like snowstorm blizzard that we're supposed to get is, I think, I guess, coming beginning of this coming week instead. So that's good. It'll keep my weekend free to be able to do some other things I need to do. But yeah, gnarly weather all over the place. So if you all haven't seen my video on winter driving techniques and vehicle prep, go watch that. It is linked in my community posts, community section, a couple posts down. Otherwise, just look for it on my channel in the video library. Some good pointers and tips for people who aren't used to that kind of weather. We're tight. What's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Twin Arrows, Glock 10mm leather holsters, water to firm it up and shrinks. Yeah, a little moisture and a little heat, but I mean, there's several ways to do it, to include manual forming and other techniques to harden leather and all that stuff. So. Metal for breakfast. We only have 2 inches of snow, but it was 4 degrees. Yeah, it was cold this morning. It was about the same here. Well, with the wind chill, so it was probably like minus 12. Warmed up though. It was about 28 degrees out today. I mean, still below freezing, but it was fairly decent out today. I was out and about earlier. Temperature's supposed to drop a little bit, but yeah, hasn't been bad. Tornadoes, Manaz, North Carolina was 20 this morning. Now you're expecting snow and ice tomorrow. Ready for summer? No, the eternal winter shall reign. I love it. I love it. Mama Bear, homesteading and fitness. Tornadoes, other half. Thanks for tuning in. Evening, sir. Just drop over to say hey. Hi. And be safe out there this weekend. Yeah, it's going to be pretty chill for us. So, pun unintended, but true. Yeah, it's gonna be good for us. We don't have the storms rolling like y'all are getting hit down in across the central band of the U.S. Yeah, water and pinch it tighter while it's wet. As far as leather holsters, yeah, I mean that's one way to do it. Again, Josh will be able to kind of give you some pointers too on some stuff. Watchdog preparedness. Hey, dude, thanks for tuning in. Everyone's I'm doing good. Yep. Yeah, exactly. 20 years. Yep. Modern frontiersman. Fortner's Frontier Leather. He knows his stuff. Anyone who didn't catch it, banned shirt of the day, dragged into sunlight. Hell yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, keep firing away with topics of discussion, questions, whatever. Slow mode is on, helps me keep track of everything, keeps the bots away. But yeah, anything's on the table, so fire away. Had a really good phone call today, actually, with the lawyer for the trademark filing stuff for my camouflage brand. So that's moving along. It's going to cost me a little bit more than I thought on that end, but some other things didn't cost as much that I had to do, so that's good. It's kind of balancing out, but looking at about $1,200 to use legal services and do formal filing for trademark and everything, and then after that, it's off to the races with the camouflage line. So start doing some IP licensing contracts, and it's good to have a lawyer on retainer anyway on the business aspect sense. So moving along. Once this is done, Wired-Tight, I'll be talking to you about some marketing material. Metal for breakfast. Thanks. Hell yeah, dude. Wired-Tight, why do women keep ghosting you? I don't know, man. It's strange times we live in with socialization and communication and everything. Could be that they're busy. Could be, I don't know, whatever, man. I wouldn't worry too much about it. They'll either, it'll either work out or it won't. I mean, you know. Keep moving forward. Moving forward. Metal for breakfast, awesome. Yeah. Joe Morgan pisses you off. Got some Sunday and Tuesday. Got stranded, and today she's got commies in the funhouse. Ooh, yikes! Sounds like change of associates are needed there. Ground proof, Randall. Always good to see you, bro. Thanks for tuning. Thanks for popping in. Hey, you got any questions, topics of discussion? That goes for everyone. Fire away. Slow mode is on in the chat, but answer questions, talk about whatever. Yeah, homo. You're on proof. It's good to see you, man. Hook. What's up, Hook? I think you're a new person to the channel. Welcome. Questions, topics of discussion, fire away. Cheers, dude. That kind of sucks because the reactions, I was able to customize them before. I can't now. YouTube Studio keeps flip flopping on that because, like, before, like, it's got like the some of the silly faces and like the heart and shit. Like, you could change them out. Like, I had like the skull and metal horns and beer cheers and all that in there. They got rid of it. Kind of sucks. I liked those reactions better. Hook, how's my new year? Mine is good. How's yours? A lot of good things in the works. I just posted an update video on Monday about some of the things going on. I got a bunch of band releases, albums that are coming out soon, and projects, in the works in studio or whatever. A bunch of that, and then just had a good phone call today with legal for my trademark filing for my camouflage brand. So that's moving forward. So once I get that done, off to the races, and then I can start doing the brand IP licensing with the textile mills and uniform and gear companies to start printing and manufacturing products with my patterns and getting them on the market. So good stuff. All kinds of good things though. A lot of good music projects and stuff going on. So got Eldarion album, second full length album coming out soon. In studio session time right now, on and off with the Aposticum project, like black and death metal. New Pythonism, Lovecraftian doom metal that'll be in the works soon. Void Blight, which is like black death metal. Starting on a new album soon. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff coming. So Ron Striker, I'm not making any gear. I am just doing licensing of my camouflage patterns to the textile mills and subsequently uniform and gear manufacturers that are already out there. So it's a licensing and royalties kind of deal. Um, I've designed a series of camouflages for regional and seasonal applications, and all that stuff. A lot of good dynamic optimization and capability. So then the licensing contracts with the textile mills to print it on material, and then said companies use said material license with them and release official products. So kind of like how Multicam does it, for their brand. So yeah, that kind of thing. Metal for breakfast. You're a busy dude with lots of pokers in the fire. Absolutely. At any given time. If I'm not doing any number of things, like I'm bored. I'm bored, and I have a lot of ideas and a lot of things I want to do. So I got to get them out there. You got to be motivated. I mean, nobody's going to motivate you in the long run. Nobody's going to motivate you except yourself. So, you just got to do it. Hook, cool beans. Hope to get your camo muddy one day. Oh yeah, hell yeah. I'm looking really forward to seeing the patterns and the products on the market. It's really exciting. So, and it's these patterns are going to work better than a lot of the other stuff that you've seen on the market. So, I'm really excited to see the response from people once it's officially released and stuff. Yeah. Watchdog preparedness. Hope that all works out for you. Good luck. Thank you. I mean, not too much craziness. Not too much craziness there. It's all just a formal process, and then getting out doing some expo and convention circuit stuff, but just marketing and just getting the patterns out there with products and stuff, and obviously there's a collective of YouTubers and stuff, homies like Randall, Gruntproof, Brent0331, number of other people that will be getting some promo dealer samples too and stuff too, so they could showcase it, they can play with it, they can promote it how they see fit, and things like that, pros and cons, whatever, but yeah, no, yeah, it's good stuff. It's a process, Gruntproof. Name any metal band besides a black metal band. Dude, come on. I mean, A Life Once Lost, if you want that like groovy kind of metalcore. Similar in some ways to Meshuggah even, but not straight up metalcore either. Kind of a crossover. I mean, you want me to keep going? I mean, Grave, Unleashed, all the Swedish death metal bands, Grave, Unleashed, any number of them. Entombed, you want to go Florida death metal, you want to go Obituary, you want to whatever, East Coast, you want to go Suffocation, you want to go Sanguisuga Bog for one of the newer bands out there. I mean, what do you want? One of my favorite power metal bands would be Falconer from Sweden. Formerly, they had a band called Mythotin, which is like folk metal, kind of with the black metal side, but very folky. King of the Distant Forest. Highly recommend that album to anyone out there by the band Mythotin, which doesn't exist anymore, but now they have the band called Falconer. Fantastic stuff. There's all kinds of good music out there. You want me to keep going? No. Hook. Can you show samples yet or not yet? Not yet. I've shown them just to a couple of very close confidants, friends. All good feedback so far, but no, I cannot officially show any sampling or yet until I have this trademark stuff done. So gotta wait a little bit. Gotta tease your ears and eyes a little bit, Round Striker, gotcha. Hoping to find someone who makes the old quote unquote rack chest rig. Actual Milsurp item in the M81 is very hard to find. Oh yeah. I mean, there's a couple of companies out there that do kind of new takes on retro gear. I mean, it's not going to be completely similar to it, unless you get a company like Tactical Tailor to make it. But there's all kinds of good stuff out there. I really like the Ops chest rig that's made by UR Tactical or Optimal Performance Systems. They use all U.S. materials, but they do assembly in Hong Kong. But it's all U.S. materials, which is cool. I've been using that chest rig for years now, and I really like it. You want to go with like the more Russian style, those Nezumi chest rigs that Lynchpin Supply has. They're modeled off of an older SSO chest rig. Those are made in South Korea, but they retail them here in the States. My stuff, my patterns are going to be, it's going to be all Berry compliant. That's one of my requirements for any company that I work with. It has to be Berry compliant. So the textile mills are going to be US based textile mills. Same goes for the Project Mega stuff and with reciprocity for European companies, because I'll deal with Europe as well. It has to be made in Europe and manufactured and assembled and everything in Europe. Where Berry compliance kind of crosses over into that, and then whatever they have for their standards as far as what's comparable to Berry compliance for Europe as well. I would love to work with like Verusta Leica and some of those companies to partner with them for licensing and stuff as well, because that company's heading the Project Mega, the Make Europe Great Again, as far as economics and production and all that stuff goes. They're one of the forefronts in that, so that's a good thing. So I would work with them too, but right now focusing on Berry compliance with U.S. companies when the time comes. Grunt Proof, hell yeah, man, I'm down. Hell yeah. There's great bands, great music out there. There's so much out there. Watchdog, hell yeah. Yes, Wiretide, Job for a Cowboy. Dude, Moon Healer, last year's album, so good. So I'm so glad they came back and released that monstrosity of an album. It is super fucking good. If anyone hasn't heard the newer Job for a Cowboy album, Moon Healer, go check it out. Really good. Grunt Proof, regular people metal. Dude, that's all regular people metal. Come on. Metal is a very wide series of subgenres. I mean, that is all regular people metal. If you want like new metal, I don't listen to that. Somewhere else. I know you're a big fan of Dream Theater, which John Petrucci, love that guy, legend. But I like my metalcore, but like I love extreme metal, death metal, brutal death, slamming death, black metal, like all that. Like I love that stuff. Not a fan of Paleface, Wiretight. I don't like that trap crossover stuff either. I'm not a fan of rap. Don't like rap. Matthew Bartholomew, what makes your camouflage better than others on the market? That is a good question. So, better color palette choices, because a lot of patterns out there, the colors don't quite match up to actual environmental colors. So better color optimization, pattern randomization and expansion. A lot of camouflage patterns are linear and have to be printed in such a way, and it's just very repetitive. The full-size swatches for printing are massive, and they're much more organic and randomized in my patterns, which I spent a lot of time making. And they're omnidirectional too. So it doesn't matter which way you cut the material, you're going to get the same maximized effect of the camouflage. So, things like that. As well as the foresight of environmental study and what the applicability of the patterns themselves and how they've been made to best blend into the environments that they're intended for, along with some crossover. So, and I've got 10 total patterns ready to go. So a full line out the gate to go into print and production. So there's a number of things there. Grunt Proof, have you seen the unplugged phone? Yes, I have. Very interesting, and I like a lot of features on it. It's a little expensive, but not nearly as much compared to other phones out there, like some of the Samsungs and crapple phones. There's a lot I like about it, and Eric Prince was very smart with it. But at the same time, like some of the people, especially for the UI programming stuff he had on that, that was the same guy that made the Pegasus malware that the Israelis used against a number of different countries. So it begs the question, what's on the backside of that? Those are some of the only questions I have, really. I mean, everything else, form, feature, function of the phone, including that complete wipe kill switch setting and stuff. That's actually really cool. Full encryption, full peer-to-peer, signal level, encryption, peer-to-peer and stuff. That's actually really awesome. So there's a lot of pros to it. There's only a couple of cons that are more just questions that I would like to see answered in order for me to consider something like that. And it's compatible with a number of your standard telecom providers and stuff. So I'm not seeing a lot of downfalls with it besides just a couple of, again, cons that are questions more so. Very interesting, though. Monitor for Tearsman. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, bro. No Game Marines allowed. Yeah, funny. But they need to have none. That's true, Hook. That's true. I love my Devil Dog brothers and sisters. Jacob John, hey, thanks for tuning in. I answered your question from the community posts earlier, so if you need to, go back and watch that. Question: what can you do to improve retention on a Kydex knife sheath? Yeah, so I answered it earlier. So it's already been formed. So take a heat gun and specific kind of sections of it, heat it up, and do the compression and let it cool and reform and stuff with that, and you'll increase the retention. Black Dahlia Murder, great band. Rest in peace, Trevor. Their new album was pretty good. I think once they refine their sound a little bit more with the lineup that they have now, with Brian Esbach being on vocals, he's the last remaining founding member of that band now that he's on vocals, and he's doing a good job. I'm glad Ryan Knight came back on second guitar and that. I think once they kind of figure out a better balance with things, I think the next album will be better than Servitude. There's a lot of complaints with Servitude, the new album. Brandon Ellis did the mixing, and he really mixed down the bass in it. You can't really hear Max's bass lines at all, which is kind of disappointing because he's a really good bass player. I miss Bart, but Max is a really good bass player, and he's a good dude. It was an okay album. I like the back half of the album a lot more than the front half. But I digress. You can't beat some of the golden era albums. My favorites are still Unhallowed, Miasma, Nocturnal, and Deflorate. Those are still my 4 favorite albums from Black Dahlia Murder. Groundproof needs some for the swamps and Sierras. Bram will need the Whataburger pattern. So I do have a pattern specifically for the swamps in the River Delta area and stuff. That's one of the patterns is for that. Another one, I have a rocky woodland pattern for kind of that intermediate kind of area, much like in the Sierras. I've got a plains and scrub, so think West Texas, the Dakotas. I've got a pattern for those areas. Again, I have 10 patterns ready to go. So it's just finishing all this formal stuff, and then they'll be out there for people. Some of the textile mills, one of them is Shop Performance Fabrics. I intend to license with them, and they will not only be doing printing production of the patterns on raw material for various manufacturers, but they have their own website called Camo Fabric Depot, where they will retail printed raw sheet fabric. So you can buy your own and make your own stuff too. Because I know a lot of people do that. I've bought from them before the Ranger Green stuff for my prototype Lerp rig and stuff. They also license with Nemesis Camo as well, which Brent just did a video on testing. So good company, and they're right here in the good old USA. But yeah, no, I already thought it out, brother. I got patterns for every region that you can think of. Environment type and all that. I've got straight up desert pattern. I've got a number of things. So yeah, dude, it's gonna be sick. Big Saw Cat, excellent foresight on cutting the fabric. Yeah, it reduced waste, because there's a lot of waste with the textile industry because of that, because of your cutting templates for making uniforms and equipment. omnidirectional cutting, so you can really condense and line up what you fit more on sheets of material, maximize the fabric, and it doesn't matter which way you cut it, you're going to get the same maximized effect of the camouflage. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I did it the way that I did, and it'll make more sense with the brand name and everything when you see that, and all that. Yeah, it's really cool. Hook, Jacob John, they're all friction retains ball. Other than that, never bomb proof. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I usually like a level 2 or 2 points of retention on various things. So if it's Kydex, also having the locking strap around the handle, I like that kind of stuff. It's the same with holsters. Big Saw Cat, no, a textile engineer who pointed out camo loss once the pattern is cut up. Yeah, that can happen with some patterns. And again, a lot of patterns out there, whether it's multicam or M81 Woodland or whatever, it's a linear print, a repeating linear print. Mine's not, so it's an increased effectiveness. So the few people I have shown small swatches to really like it. So, just improved blending and function of camouflage overall, just aside from the economics and manufacturing aspect. Yeah, it's all good things. So Jacob John, can you heat it up with a torch and make the Kydex grip more snug, or just give up a Kydex? Friction never perfect on Kydex. I would use a heat gun over straight up like blowtorch, or a hair dryer if it gets really hot. Those would be better to use. A heat gun is best, just because it's a heat you need and it's focused, but you're not going to be overheating or risking melting it or anything like you can with a torch. You can use a torch, just be very cognizant about it, because you can damage the Kydex. Yeah, Brent always does some videos out there instead of hunting contestants. Why not both? Multitask. Yeah, no, I mean, Brent's a solid dude. He's super solid, and I love his camo test videos. Him, and then there's I've done a couple myself. On like this one, the Geo7 from Vale that 511 had printed for a while. My homemade snow camo, homemade DIY camo. Like I've done some videos like that too. You can find time to do it. It doesn't take that long. There's also a couple other guys that do camo test videos. One of them's over in Germany. He puts out camouflage effectiveness test videos comparing camouflages in the region. Those are pretty good. But yeah, why not both, right? Jacob John, good point. We'll consider installing a second point of retention. Yeah, might as well. If you're not using like the Blade Tech, I always forget the name of that securing. It's on the back of it. You bolt it on, and then you secure to the belt, and it's got the kind of swinging securing latch mechanism to it. I don't know. As long as you're not using that, if you're using like a more traditional like installation setup where you got a hanger on it, or you have access kind of sticking up and behind, and you can affix something on there to lock around the handle or whatever, that would be better. Joe, your 25-year-old is having a meltdown. I guess she got stranded, donating plasma, and needs a ride to the house meeting is mandatory. She needs a lift back. You dog, you. Joe. Jacob John, your Black Scout Survival Street pick won't stay in the Kydex. Well, there's your first problem you bought from Black Scout Survival. No, yeah. Take a heat gun to it, and work on that, and work on kind of remolding and condensing to get better retention on that holster until you add a second point of retention on it. I mean, I've got a couple of holsters for sheaths for knives that are single point retention Kydex and stuff, or Boltaron, which is another. It's similar to Kydex. My Verusta Leica knife uses Boltaron instead of Kydex, but like I have some other knives that are Kydex, have Kydex sheaths, and they've been okay. Especially up at the top where that pinch point, again, that pinch point locking right around where the hilt is, at the top of the handle where the hilt is before it goes into the ricasso and the tang of the blade. Like if it's got that there, tighten that up. That's going to be your first point of contact that you're going to want to tighten up. Metal for breakfast. Shout out Camo Carl. He's a seamster, has an industrial strike sewing machine in his truck. He also knows lots about camo and old military gear. Oh, nice, nice. I feel like I've seen his channel before, but no, yeah, good shout out. Proper shout out. Got to shout out Morgan, winterwarfare.com as well. Because I'll be, he's working with a lot of smaller guys like Cedar Sewing and some other guys that are making gear for him to retail now. So that's a huge partnership and support to small businesses, which I am all about. So that's really good stuff too. So definitely some of those companies that he's working with, I'll be working with them for Winter Warfare, for the snow camo pattern stuff, and get them kind of, 1 degree, 2 degree of separation, get that facilitated and get some of that licensed camouflage to him for retail as well. Because I have a designated snow pattern in the mix with all the stuff too, and it's so. Yeah, all good stuff. There's a lot of good dudes out there doing cool stuff. Bug Out Bushido, another big shout out. He is starting his gear company too, and he's doing some really cool stuff. And one of the patterns I had originally designed in collaboration with him for him, and it's now part of the official line, the FL pattern for Florida, the subtropical region pattern. But yeah, so that's cool stuff. Joe Morgan. Oh yeah, you think that's bad? Met up Sunday for the first time since Thanksgiving, and after AA with the other chick I was messing, they bunked together and know about each other. Ooh, you did that to yourself, Joe. Met for purpose. You might have seen it in my live stream chats. Oh yeah. I've seen him there too. Alongside Italian Hillbilly, and then Bug Out Bushido sometimes when he's in there, security guy. Yeah, I do recall. I haven't been able to catch one lately. I mean, the one just a little while back, right around the holidays. So sorry, I've been busy. Joe, and after got better acquainted again, she just texted me, broker. All right, recourse. For breakfast, right? Bug Up Bushido is doing the things. Yeah, he is, dude. It's awesome to see. It's awesome to see so many people starting businesses and getting into the game. Seeing that shift, and a lot of really cool up and comers and a lot of really cool small businesses out there. I really like seeing it, and I really want to work with everyone, and with everyone if feasible. There are some companies I won't work with. And again, it's got to be very compliant. Textiles, the patterns are going to be printed on textiles that are made here in the United States and printed here in the United States. Gear makers making stuff here in the United States. So like, whether it's a larger company, if it's Berry compliant stuff and they're making everything in house here in the States and all that, like, I'm game. Let's go. Let's do it. So it's all good things. It's all good things. So more questions, more topics. Keep firing away. Fire away. Great range of topics. They're already burned through 40 minutes. Time flies when you have really good discussion going on, really good questions, really good people, I think at one point we peaked at about 14 people in here. That's awesome. That's about the most I've ever had in a live stream. I don't drink soft drinks very often, but cherry Coke is hitting right now. Joe Morgan doing the things. It's pretty hard to do all the shit when you had to start over from nothing again. It's never ending. Getting through the month without going hungry. Dude, I feel you. Starting over is not easy, but you know what you need to do. You're the foundational motivation for yourself, right? Like you know what you need to do. So it's a process. It takes time, but nothing ever comes quick unless everything is serendipitous and just fall into place, and it just works out like that. But that's certainly not the norm. So keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. Set up a printify store, and then get some designs on there. Do some retail, some designs. Make a little side income. Rooster designed. Yeah, I know. Some other things. Eating yet? Yeah, go get some pizza, dude. Pizza sounds good. I'll probably do. Yeah, Friday's usually my pizza night. I'll be doing pizza tomorrow. I'm gonna do Rubens later today because Rubens just sound right. It's funny. I hated sauerkraut as a kid, but hit like 18 and then onward, nah, it's great. Matthew Bartholomew, do you think the government has any grav propulsion? They've had patents on that for a long time, as far as R&D stuff goes. Whether they're actually using the systems or not, I mean, I haven't seen any, and I've been around a bit. Could they still be testing something? Based on what is attainable and feasible? Yeah, probably. Plenty of testing between the government and subcontractors and everything that people don't know about until it's released, or will never know about because it didn't work and they keep it classified. So, but there's patents out there. You can find them. Jacob John, question: does anyone know how to obtain the proprietary 511 tactical fabric for the strike pants? And they make it available to the public, or a good alternative? Nylon BDUs suck. So they just use a certain denier of ripstop nylon, which there's plenty of options of that on the market. Check out there's companies like Ripstop by the Roll, where you can just get sheet fabric. There's a number of other textile mills out there, Camo Fabric Depot and some other ones that offer Camo Fabric Depot mostly just does nylon. They do some netting as well. But for the actual clothing fabric material, the Ripstop cotton and cotton poly blends and cotton nylon blends and stuff. I mean, they're out there. You just look around a little bit. Ripstop by the Roll and some other companies, and you can just buy sheet of material. I'm not entirely sure which denier, so thickness, and thread count of ripstop that 511 uses for the strike pants specifically. I'm not entirely sure. I know they use a mixture of US and Vietnamese based textile mills, and then a lot of their stuff is assembled in Vietnam. To include this Geo7 stuff back in the day before this got discontinued. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But the same type of fabric is out there. So if you just look around a bit, you should be able to find it. BDUs otherwise proper. They're tried and true. Still a major GS supplier. And they've got ripstop blend and then your standard twill blend uniforms, and they hold up fine. I've got a number of pairs of them. Apart from I do have a couple of sets of this Geo7 uniform stuff too, but again, that's discontinued, so you can't get that anymore. Besides whatever's on the used resale market. Proper is a good way to go though. Their BDUs are fine. Standard pants like the strike pant for 511. I mean, those pants are great. They're comfortable. True Spec has a good alternative to those. The 24/7 series pants are good. They're very similar to the strike and the TDU pants of 511. They're very similar. So I've got a few pairs of them too. They're fine, no problems. And they cost a little bit less than 511, which 511's prices aren't that bad anyway. But yeah, the True Spec ones aren't bad either. So There's an alternative to look at. You want to design and make your own. Oh, so like DIY camouflage? Yeah, that's fair. Or like, oh, design your own uniform and then bring the patterns to market or whatever. I mean, yeah, that's cool. There's definitely some people out there worth talking to about that too that can help with that. CNT Designs and Arms. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, doing uniform. So the pattern, basically the cutout, for the pieces that you need to then stitch together to make a uniform and stuff. Like that's a process. If it's a new style of pattern that isn't out there, you would have to consider patenting it, or at least putting it under a trademark. At the least, patent can be very expensive. But that would be the way to do it, unless you're just going to keep it completely proprietary and in-house to yourself. I would still do something to protect it, but yeah, it's not a bad option to go. Yeah, what's up, CNT? How you doing? Michigan Woodsman, hey, thanks for tuning in. How you doing? Some great questions and topics of discussion here. Keep firing away. This is good stuff. Big Saw Cat, would you consider selling yardage with finished clothes so guys can custom make gear? Buying Phantom Leaf BDUs to cut up into camelbacks. Yeah, so like I said earlier, some of the U.S. mills, to include Shop Performance Fabrics, they have their own subsidiary company called Camo Fabric Depot, and they sell yardage of printed raw material for you to use to buy and make stuff with or whatever. There's other companies like Ripstop by the Roll and stuff. They do that as well. Ripstop by the Roll also licenses with that Prim One, PRYM1 camouflage company. Their stuff's okay. It kind of reminds me of Cryptek a little bit. But yeah, you got options out there for getting sheet material, raw material. Spoonflower. There's a couple of guys that are on Spoonflower too. I know there's one that sells yardage of the Russian partisan camo pattern in a couple of different formats. I think they do oak leaf, the old German oak leaf as well, if you want raw sheet. I don't remember if At the Front does it for the old World War II camo patterns anymore, but they used to do pattern by the yard as well, but I don't know if they do anymore. Who sucks? Big Saw Cat. You got to be a little more specific. I'm not sure who sucks. Spoonflower isn't great because usually the base material that they print the camo on is white. So then when you go to stitch it, and Boga Bushido and I were talking about that, some of the white will show through from the backside, which kind of sucks. But I'm not sure who you're talking about in particular about who sucks. Camo Fabric Depot and Shop Fabrics are fine. They're great. They're one of the licensed nylon mills here in the U.S., all Berry compliant. They just don't offer ripstop. They just do nylon mostly and then some netting. There's other companies out there that do ripstop uniform fabrics and things like that. Keep firing away with topics and questions. Good questions and topics. Fire away. Keep firing away. This is good stuff. Already almost an hour in. Time flies. Keep coming. Keep it coming. I don't know if Randall is still in here or not. Gruntproof. It's funny talking about the thing earlier, but like, yeah, traveling and stuff. Yeah. When you're traveling abroad, even if it's to a permissive environment like just Europe in general or whatever, like, don't dress like an American as much. Like, you'll stand out like a sore thumb. You walk around in tight jeans and metal t-shirts, you're gonna blend right in. But if you're wearing a lot of American regalia and certain fits and cuts of clothing and things like that, even hats like this, like I wouldn't wear this overseas. Just as a tourist around, I would go for something much more typical of the region that I'm in. But yeah, metal shirts and stuff, always good to go wherever you go, pretty much. Except the Middle East, because they're numb. Yeah, still wear them around. Doesn't matter. Still wear them around. The bases and stuff, and green zone and everything. Matthew Bartholomew, your thoughts on USCCA? So and there's a number of companies like that: Law Shield, CCW Safe, Right to Bear, USCCA, and a couple other ones. So the concealed carry liability insurance. I mean, it's really no different than just having a health and welfare liability insurance policy. It's just the shtick with it is legal support and insurance support if you have a defensive shooting. I want to like it, but at the same time, it's like, and I've heard horror stories. I've heard of some of the horror stories where somebody is a member and they don't get representation, which is really shitty. So you got to really assess it and really figure out if it's actually something that you want or need or not. I mean, most of the time, if you know of a good lawyer or whatever, anyway, they're gonna do just as good a job as those guys. So it's like whatever. And I mean, you can call any of those guys even without being a member. You can call any of the lawyers and retainer that those concealed carry insurance companies have on retainer. You can call any number of them for your area independently and be like, "Hey, I would like to have you as my representation." They're not going to say no, if you're, covering their rates, the standard legal rates. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of a shtick. Metal for breakfast. Yeah, metal is universal language. Exactly, dude. Music in general is. I mean, wear a Beatles shirt, wear fucking Pink Floyd shirt, wear whatever. Doesn't matter. Like, you're gonna blend in better. Like, you can dress like a tourist, but at the same time, just don't stand out all that much. Pretty common sense stuff. Jacob John, feels like many places in country are non-permissive. I mean, depends where you are. Depends what your views are and what the time sensitive risk assessment saying and things like that. I mean, honestly, you're going to be fine most places that you're going as a tourist. I mean, you can look at dudes, whether it's Bald and Bankrupt or whoever, on YouTube, and they're going to some crazy places. They're fine. It doesn't matter. The typical places you're going to go on vacation, you're going to be fine. Just make sensible decisions, rational decisions, reasonable decisions. Don't try and stand out too much. But a lot of the time, if you're going to a really touristy spot, you're going to be around a bunch of other fucking tourists anyway. So it doesn't, it's whatever. Just blend in. Yeah, exactly. Language. CNT, lawyer on retainer is a way to go 100%. Exactly. Dago Muff Top. Hey, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Fire away with any questions, topics of discussion. Yeah, CNT. Yeah, lawyer on retainer. Just, a guy that's good at what he does. I can have him on speed dial. Whatever. Took by V1. Thanks for tuning in, dude. You were an Opeth shirt yesterday. Okay. There we go. It's like, whatever. Nobody really bats an eye. You're just doing your thing. You can dress regular, whatever. Good stuff. I have Dragged in the Sunlight shirt on today. Big Saw Cat. Campfire with shitty metal and Gun Girl Prepper, good metal with grunt proof and his shitty beer. Yes. I'm a beer snob, and I make fun of Randall a little bit about that. I mean, nothing wrong with PBR. He loves PBR. Nothing wrong with PBR. That's a local staple here, as much as Hams and Blatz are, and Schlitz. Schlitz still exists, yes. But yeah, this is not my thing. I have to drink gluten-free beer anyway, unfortunately. But I like strong beer, and there's some good strong options out there that I much prefer. The Belgian style beers are my favorites, absolute favorites. I like a good porter or whatever too, but yeah, triples and quadruples, quadruples. Man, some with some horsepower, but it just awesome flavor. Jake John, wish CCW would include knife defense coverage, firearm coverage. Use it and like it because simple monthly insurance payment. Yeah, I mean, why don't normal insurance companies offer that anyway? But yeah, no, bundling it should be something that should be done too. That's a reasonable thing to do because I mean everybody carries a knife on them too. So metal is metal. Yeah, except glam and new metal. I could do without them, but everything else is fine. That's just my opinion. Don't freak out on me. Hey, there we go. Guys talking to each other. Techno Muff Top, hello. Metal for breakfast, yep. Saying hey to each other, hell yeah. Metal for breakfast, I'm old, so metal has progressed exponentially since you were a kid. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I feel you. I was born in the 80s. I still love the old school OSDM. I still love old school death metal, and again, Grave Unleashed, Old Suffocation, CC, Obituary, whatever, dude. That's all still great. Old Emperor, old Gorgoroth, whatever. It's all good. It's all good. Jacob John, exactly. Yep. Tick by V1. The beer at the bottom of the big cooler should always be Natty Ice PBR. Oh, Natty Ice is awful. So is Steel Reserve and Red Dog. Those are all terrible. They shouldn't even be made. It's an affront to what beer is. C&T can drink cheap beer. Almost always do. Cannot do cheap whiskey. It's also true. Same with vodka. Even a lot of people are like, oh, vodka's vodka. No, there are different qualitative tiers of vodka as well. Never the bottom shelf. Metal for breakfast, you like Natty Ice? Dude, come on, man. Go get some Spotted Cow or something, Metal for breakfast, know what I'm talking about. New Glarus Brewing Company. They make some pretty good beers. Not super high end, not like super bottom of the barrel either. It's good beer. CT. Keystone. Oh god, Keystone. Matthew Bartholomew, have you researched Gulf War syndrome and Havana syndrome? I have. I have Gulf War illness, Gulf War syndrome. Pretty sure it was the anthrax jab back in the day. This early GWAT when they were still giving that out, and yep, screwed me up pretty good. Permanent medical conditions because of it, and a lot of people are suffering because of it. The Havana syndrome stuff is due to radio or microwave emitter weapons. And that has been verified. Watchdog prepare. The VA is not, and the DoD are not playing ball about Gulf War illness still, though. They're making some strides with the PACT Act stuff and the burn pits and all that, but like they're ignoring all these other multi-factor issues that are causing health problems for veterans and contractors. And they need to address them and actually take care of their fucking people better. So it's a big problem. I have a whole video talking about my exposure injury and the results of it and all that stuff. So you can go check it out. Watchdog preparedness scenario: the U.S. government temporarily collapses due to catastrophic terrorist attack of government officials. What happens to the population? States take over. They try and run business as usual. I assume that you meant the federal government there. So that happens. Okay, so some of the federal implementation stuff stops for a little while. I mean, people are still going to keep doing their jobs, just like with the shutdown. But the states are going to take over, and if it fails at state level, counties take over. And then from there, but community banding together, much like what you see after the disaster response and things like that too. You'll see that kind of thing happen. At least to some extent. It'll be chaos in the major cities, but a lot of other places, and even in the cities to an extent, people are going to be, communities are going to be banding together. So taking care of their own. CNT Keystone. Met up for breakfast, you're a caveman. What can you say? Hey, that's okay. Caveman Cult, great band. Same with Weregoat, great band. I love my caveman stuff too. It's okay. I get it. It's okay. You like what you like. CNT, you can, however, do cheap tequila. Huh. I like a good reposado. I'm all right with the tequila. Vanessa Kitty, hi. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Fire away, ask any questions, topics of discussion you want to hear, see answered, or talked about. Fire away. Thanks for tuning in. Tactical Muffin Top, I should do a Kipper taste test, off with all the brands. Yeah, I've thought about that. Because I get the Virgo brand mussels too, in the can, and they're delicious. I think at some point I'll probably do a video doing that stuff. Because I love them as much as you do. Tactical Muffin Top. You do love my Kippers. Yeah, I'll do a video on that at some point. It's a good suggestion. Big Saw Cat. Diarrhea every day since Sierra Leone, July 1st, 96. That's a familiar year and date and location. I know my history. I've worked with some of the guys who were formerly with EO before. Some of those guys moved over to some of the companies that I had worked with. Notably one guy, the K9 handler. That guy, absolute pro, best I've ever seen. Oh, okay. CNT and Vanessa know each other. Coop sent me this way. Well, hey, thanks for coming this way. Permanent diarrhea for well over 25 years. Yeah, toxic exposure is a bitch. I've got total gluten intolerance. I've got mitochondrial dysfunction, and then autonomic nervous imbalance, mild one. I get fluid around my gallbladder and stuff. So I don't have that issue. I don't have the mud butt, thankfully, but totally gluten free now, not by choice, which sucks. And then the other stuff going on. So I have to monitor my gallbladder and stuff. Their VA is like, oh, we might have to take it out. I'm like, how about you guys actually implement a care program, recognize toxic exposure injuries apart from this PACT Act, the airborne stuff, because it's not just that, obviously. Hundreds of thousands of veterans had adverse reactions to the anthrax jab and the smallpox stuff and everything else. So recognize that too, apart from other environmental exposures and the other hazards involved with being in war zones and being around equipment and UXO and all that stuff. Like it's a multi-factor series of issues. So they need to actually address it and actually do right by the millions that are dealing with a variety of those issues. I have an entire playlist called Veterans and Advocacy on my channel where there's a bunch of videos on there talking about that stuff with some documentaries and some other stuff, and including my video that's talked about it and everything. So anyone interested, go check it out and share it around. CNT, go brother. Another cool ass cat. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it. Tengage, hey, thanks for tuning in, dude. Late but you're here. Found tagation mode. Nice. Metal for breakfast. Simpsons said it best. Pull the tapeworm about your ass. This kitty was sent out to most every white Alice site in Alaska, and they were all closing down. They were all at the Congressional Superfund cleanup sites. Yep, that'll do it. I know a dude in the Navy that was doing the painting for the stealth stuff, and he's got renal failure, kidney failure, and stuff from that, pancreatic failure from the paint. Yeah, it's a number of things. It is. That's. Yeesh. We're managing though, right? Not that we should have to be managing in the ways that we are, but it is what it is for now. VA's got to step their shit up. CNT, the VA ain't about to do that because they don't want to take care of that. Well, no, my VA is one of the top 10 best in the country. They actually do a really good fucking job. At the bureaucratic level, yes, that's a problem. It's always up the food chain, but at the medical center level, I have a great VA. I have no complaints with the staff there. My GI specialist is a rock star. Like, they're great. They actually do what they can with what they know and what the VA is acknowledging. Again, that's at the bureaucratic at the higher level. We can't throw the actual caregivers under the bus because they are. If it's a good spot, I mean, there are some poor quality VA sites, but if people are good at what they do, they're good at what they do. When it comes to the healthcare stuff, like, I've not had issues with my actual doctors and stuff. They've been great. Tuck by V1, being gluten-free can be a pain in the ass. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, everything's more expensive for no reason. Usually less ingredients. So that doesn't make sense. But yeah, the biggest issue is just gluten-free beer. There's very few to choose from. I found one brand. It's Greens, which is a UK company, the Belgian breweries, and it's imported. That stuff's really good though because it's higher ABV because I like that. But they make a triple. And Belgian Tripel is one of my favorite types of beers. So the fact that they import that one, their amber ale is pretty good too, but it's not as strong. But it's good. So finding alternatives is good. Ending up doing a lot of cooking at home because of that is actually not bad because you're eating better. So, but otherwise with gluten-free stuff, it is a pain in the ass. Going out to eat can be a pain in the ass. Food scene here in my area is good. A lot of places are gluten-free, gluten intolerance, gluten-free, cognizant. There's enough food options in the grocery store nowadays where I don't really have anything too much to complain about besides the prices. That's the biggest issue. It does suck overall, but make it do. So. Engage opinion on making it into SBS technical shotgun. I mean, you do you, man. If it's within the parameters of legality and stuff, go for it. Whatever. If you're using it for home defense, I mean, go for it. Vanessa Kitty, currently the VA comes to pick me up for your appointments and bring you home. Yeah, DAV, Disabled American Veterans, is the transport service that the VA has bringing people back and forth. I used them for about a year when I was in between vehicles. It was good. It was good. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a nice service. Currently trust three, I think you meant VA or maybe hospitals I've used have indeed saved your life. Yep. Yeah, mine here, VA hospital and stuff. It's great. I have no complaints. It's one of the top 10 best in the country. No complaints. Jacob John, question. What do you think of instead of flooding America with illegal foreign workers, giving the U.S. military a mission to locate, assemble, equip, mentor, and train all willing Americans who want? I mean, the U.S. military is a volunteer force anyway. And state constitutions are contradicting the U.S. Constitution when it comes to M forces and the National Guard, what they're designating the National Guard as a militia. That's factually wrong because it's under an aspect of state control and federal control because the National Guard has a weird crossover with the DoD. That's a contradiction. So constitutional contradiction at the federal level. That aside, Yeah, more training should be available, and more opportunity for people to get into volunteer forces if they want to contribute to national defense. It should be that should be available to all Americans, much like with Switzerland. Vanessa Kitty, cooking at home is essential. Yeah, I do it a lot. Yeah, it's you kind of have to, but it's just it's nice to as well. Unless it's like something specific, like I love Laotian food. I love Lao food. I love Japanese. I love sushi. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and get those things. Thankfully sushi's gluten free. And like Lao basil fried rice, gluten free. Like all that. But a lot of other things that I am apt at cooking, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do it at home. You're gonna save a lot of money. Jacob John, fill job slots, work with captains of industry, fill slots, and work on fixing issues of low wage pay on farms and such. So yeah, agricultural industry. I'm not well versed on agriculture just because I'm not a farmer and stuff. I mean, my grandpa drove a grain truck for years until he retired, alongside being a field truck driver. So I mean, I know a little bit about it, but there's things in that aspect of the agricultural industry and the economy that really needs to be improved. I mean, farmers do make pretty good money, but a lot of that money gets invested right back into equipment and everything, and supplies and stuff for their livestock, for their crops, and everything like that. So it's not like these guys are millionaires. They have a lot of money and equipment and stuff, but you know, they're still working class. So it's how do you get that reciprocation and that balance of being able to get by, but also being able to maintain stability and efficiency with the agricultural industry to best provide for the country and for exports and everything else. It becomes this blossoming aspect of things. Tech by V1. Wheat is a really cheap filler flavor and taste enhancer. It's cheaper than coconut flour, but pasta costs 5 times more. Yeah, I do the rice. I do rice flour and rice noodles and stuff. That's usually the better option. And then like for starches, like arrowroot powder or cassava or tapioca, same thing, cassava root. That's a good alternative. Vanessa Kitty, brother made 2 huge pans of lasagna. Has made 60 plus servings. Hell yeah, Vanessa. Yeah, fucking lasagna fucks. Good shit. Vanessa Kitty, VA here in West Haven. Sends a cab up here to get me there. 62 miles south. Oh yeah. They do cab vouchers too. Yeah, it's good stuff. Practical Rifleman. Hey dude, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. How you doing? Neskity presidential orders versus state call up is a difference, right? Some folks on guard bases are indeed a crossover active duty thing. Yeah, full time guard. Yeah. Um, see a T design in arms. Taken a couple of uncles, my dad VA hospitals many times through the years in Louisiana, Arkansas, Georgia, and Alabama. I've never had a good experience. That sucks, man. That seems like that. Um, is it Tulane Medical Center in Louisiana? They partner with the VA. That's excellent medical center. If you have the option through choice program or whatever, take them to Tulane. Hey, Satan. Grub proof. Satan. Never man dog. Little Snowmageddon in round 2 tonight. Yeah. The central band of the Midwest is getting nailed right now with winter storms. So yeah. Again, the winter driving, winter tips, vehicle prep tips, all that stuff. Check your damn tires. Don't have bald tires driving around. I'm looking at you, Southerners. Don't be driving around with bald tires in winter conditions. You're gonna have a bad time. Takes defensive driving. You can't drive like a madman unless you're used to crazy conditions like that. Other prep and stuff, like yeah, just be sensible. Be your own voice of reason. And if you don't have one, let me be your voice of reason. Big Saw Cat, eat Laotian Vietnamese, you won't eat Chinese again. Facts. Drove GMC grain box in Kansas a million years ago. Dude, yeah. Lao Viet Thai food. Oh, it's so good. Blows Chinese food out of the water for sure. Korean hot pot. Yeah. Neskitty snows are hitting a few states south of here. No snow on the ground. Connecticut. Yeah, I'm North Midwest, Great Lakes region. fairly bare here too. More north in the state, closer to like Lake Superior and stuff, and the Canadian border. There's snow, but our snowstorm is supposed to come at the beginning of this coming week. It got pushed back again. Kind of mad. I love snow. CNTD designs are so we were supposed to get snow here in Alabama, but it looks like it's not going to happen now. I think northern Alabama is getting a little bit. I saw Livestream's media, the Weather Chaser guys. They had posted some B-roll raw footage, and there was some down there. But yeah, mostly rain and ice for you guys. Practical Rifleman. When I drove out to see American Outlaw in West Texas the year before last, whole way there was a winter storm. Texas can't handle it. No. Yeah, when I lived in Texas when I was a kid, it snowed maybe an eighth of an inch on the ground, maybe a quarter of an inch. Highways shut down, nothing, everything stopped. And then, it warmed up by midday, everything melted. But like in the morning, kids were out with like 8 pairs of socks in their hands trying to make these muddy snowmen and stuff. It was hilarious. I was like, amateurs. Because I had lived, in the North Midwest prior to that, and then after it is just funny. They cannot handle it. And then they had that snowpocalypse, a couple of years ago now too, and that was bad. So their grid's not set up for it either. Their infrastructure's not built for it either. So ice every once in a while, is one thing, but 2 weeks worth of snow and severe temps like that, yeah, they weren't ready. CNT Designs, Granddad Frank passed the VA hospital in New Orleans in '94. Replaced completion. Oh yeah. The quality was bad back then, but I mean, it's improved exponentially since then. Even to when I got out of the Army in '08 to now, it has improved exponentially. Obviously, still room for a lot of improvement there, but it has improved quite a bit. Took by V1. South of the south, weather stops 500 miles north of you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we know. How you enjoying those hot temps right now, though? It's like freaking 110 where you are. Fuck that. Ground proof. It's not hard. Learned on the Autobahn with a 91 rear-wheel drive BMW. That's Autobahn, yeah. Autobahn's so cool. It was fun driving on it. It's good times. Yeah, it just takes a little conditioning, you get used to it. And this kitty, one time San Antonio, they had more snow on the ground than Anchorage, Alaska had. Yeah, it's been weird flip-flops, every once in a while. Yep, drove 900 miles of snow and ice whole way, never spun a tire. Attaboy. Hell yeah. Ground proof. People think ABS and ESP means that they can turn and stop at the same speeds on ice. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, don't freaking use them. Don't use cruise control either. You got to feather it. You do. You got to feather it. You start. You do brake traction. You start sliding. You got to just let off everything, turn to correct, get the correction in, and then you can feather shit. Yeah, people don't know. People don't know. Took by V1, low tonight, 53. Mass casualties expected. I think our low tonight with the wind chill, we're supposed to be around, I think, minus 15. Negative 15. Matthew Bartholomew, please tell me you don't live in Wisconsin. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I love it up here. I do. It's a good time. CT took by V1, low here tonight is like low 20s. Dead are piling up already. Jeez. Yeah, been in the teens overnight, yeah. Let's see. We're 14 when I woke up today. It did get up 29 though. Yeah, I think I woke up to 9 degrees, not including wind chill, and then it warmed up to about, I think, 25 or 28 today. Well, not bad. Not bad. It was comfortable out. Jacob John, yes, I've been to the Mars Cheese Castle. We have many cheese emporiums up here, not just Mars. But yes, I've been to the Mars Cheese Castle several times. Pine River Dairy, a little further north. I love them. They have the best squeaky cheese curds in the state. And then Jim's Cheese. They make he makes a ghost pepper cheese that's really good. There's the Mouse House. That's one of those other cheese emporiums, kind of like Mars Cheese Castle. There's Mouse House, Maus, Mouse House, Haus. So very German. A lot of good cheeses. I mean, that's the forte here for sure. CNT, Columbus, Georgia, Phoenix City. Okay, right outside of Benning or more, whatever. It's Benning. It's always going to be Benning. It was Benning when I was there. It's still going to be Benning. 2001 or so, I had like 2 inches of snow. I drove around and I watched people crash. Everyone until it was funny. Yeah, it's funny. I went through the winter cycle of OSIT on Benning in 05. And didn't really get that cold. A lot of dudes got cold. I was like, dude, just put on your heavy polypros. Shut up. Put on your field jacket. Shut up. You're fine. It's not cold. Little frost, little frost. Late, early morning darkness, and then in the morning, a little bit of frost. It was whatever. CNT is about 26. So we got up and we're rolling around 7 a.m. That's not bad. Practical Rifleman. Funny, last week I was talking about how I frequently use snow camo and bam. Bam! That's what I'm saying. You better have a set, bro. If not, make your own. I mean, I have my DIY videos on how to make your own snow camo. You get like a set of the True Timber over whites, jacket and trousers, the plain whites, and then you just a little bit of brown rattle can kind of randomized over it. Perfect. The S pattern of the camouflage line I'm releasing, I took heavy cues from my DIY designing to make it, and it fantastic. It's not hard. Took by V1 CNT. Well, it's been 19 with 20 knot breeze in North Carolina. Well, so to a commercial food distribution warehouse, it was 13. Yeah, that's about standard for freezers. Commercial freezer warehouse is supposed to be up to minus 20. Yeah, depends what's in the freezers. I mean, obviously, you don't want liquids to freeze that are supposed to stay liquids like milk and stuff, but yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Practical Rifleman. Yeah, you got the German ponchos, the Schneetarn, the spruce camo. That's good stuff. It is. CNT, work meat packing plant, Slidell, Louisiana, 97. One freezer with minus 20 would freeze a side of beef solid in 30 minutes. Yep. And when you're outside in severe negative temperatures, so we're talking minus 30 Fahrenheit with wind chill and colder from there. That's getting into that bracket of temperature and colder from there, where you're have a severe risk of frostbite and like severe wind burn turning into frostbite. But also, you need to protect your eyes. Sunglasses at least, goggles. Because especially minus 35, minus 40, minus 45 in that bracket and colder, obviously, your eyeballs can start to freeze. They're the only organ of the body that's not insulated and heated and the same as the rest of the organs in your body. They don't have that temperature regulation to them, and there's a lot of moisture in them, and they can freeze. When is that called? Polar Vortex 2018 into 2019. Yeah, daytime temps hit minus 48 Fahrenheit, and at night hit minus 55 Fahrenheit. That is beyond deadly cold. And your eyeballs, if you're outside for more than 5 minutes without eye protection on, your eyeballs will freeze. Yeah, so you gotta be ready for it. Sunglasses at the least, polarized sunglasses at the least. Goggles good too, obviously. This kitty, minus 20 to moisture in your nose freezes on inhalation. Yep. Motorcycle ride goggles. Yep. Whatever. Minus 60, a tomato freezes solid in under 30 seconds. Correct. Yep. Brim frost exercise, 1985. Had one say we medevaced everyone. Minus 90. Yeah, you guys are definitely up near the Arctic Circle there. That are just severe polar blast along with everything. Yeah, it's very hard to survive in that. I mean, even places like Yakutsk and Oymyakon, Russia, where people live, and North Alaska, barren in the Arctic Circle and things like that. I mean, it's you got to be smart. You got to be smart about it. CNT working in the freezer. Literally, my boots freeze solid while we're working. Yep, moisture content in typical like suede work boots and stuff. Yeah, it'll freeze. They'll freeze, and if they're wet, they'll freeze. Leather, solid leather boots are usually still some of the best, along with to what extent you need over boots and things like that depends on what the conditions are and that kind of thing. Like not so much, but definitely have wool socks on. Yeah, I feel you. 5 years in Alaska, almost every remote station visited. That's badass. I love it. Alaska's beautiful. Over 40 major frostbite, extreme cold danger, and 80 something troops at that site. Oh yeah, I'd imagine so. And it's crazy too because some of the older Arctic extreme cold weather and Arctic equipment was actually better than some of the stuff that we have today. I was watching a video. Dude was overviewing some of the old school Arctic parkas that the military had, and they're like way better than what we have now. We should go back to using those, kind of things. CNT, yeah, boots got wet all the time in between thaw tanks for meat and washing stations. Yeah, exactly. Iquix gear working inspections in the freezers in Alaska. Yep, good. You should have. I'm glad you did. Practical Rifleman. Coldest I've ever camped outside was -7, 30-mile-an-hour winds, so probably felt about like minus 25, -30. Slept in a tarp. Boots froze solid. Was prepared for it and sweat all night long, which isn't good. In a surplus bivy, ESS -20 sleeping bag and fleece. Yeah, I use a civilian sleeping bag for cold weather. It's a Eureka bag rated to -25, -30, along with the bivy. Plenty warm. I like the British method too. So having a complete separate set of clothing or uniform to sleep in, and then changing back into other stuff for daytime and everything. I like that model. It usually works a bit better, especially in the case like if you're sweating, which you got to try and mitigate that, but it happens. You know, it's good to be able to switch back and forth. Yep, wool is king. Let's see, CT took by V1. Sounds like something got a new mention. His dad owned a seafood distributor and he called it a blast freeze. Yep. Instant freeze. Just kitty, paper, pencil, clipboard were the only functional tools that worked in the right hours on the side. Yep. Ink freezes. Can't use it. Yep. Got to use pencil. Spent camping -30 a couple times in Alaska. Best views of the Northern Lights seem to be like those coldest weeks. Oh yeah, I believe it. I bet the views were awesome though. CNT designs in our took by V1. Yep. What we call a freezer. Working that thing all the time. Spend more than an hour some nights. Wild. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. I think cold is probably winter camping. Yeah, probably about -30 for me as well. Um, the nice thing winter camping, you make a fire. It's not like tactical training. Even then, at that point, it's kind of understood by you and the enemy. Everybody's going to be doing things to try and survive. It's going to be very, very limited activity as it is. Um, but no, it's nice with camping, even when it's that cold. Like just make a nice fire, and oh yeah, that's good stuff. Dry your socks and your boots out and everything. Almost passed out in the freezer one night. Ooh, yikes! Kitty seafood distributor in New Orleans is placed on medical hold one Friday morning by the FDA. Went to court and placed their entire warehouse in medical hold. Yikes! 82, 1982, huh? Sorry, I just got a message. Yep, it's gonna be a wild weekend for weather. I was born mid '80s. Yeah, I'm only a little bit younger than you guys. Practical Rifleman, you're about my age. You're around my age. Late 30s. Late 30s. short of 40. What's up, Demo Man Don? How you doing? This kitty is a Barksdale Air Force Base. Okay, what for Alaska? 82. Practical Rifleman 40s. Yeah, you're early 40s. You're not that much older than me. You shut up. Love you. Oh shit, we're getting on an hour and a half. Dude, it's great when live streams just burn by like this. It's good conversation with people. It's awesome. Any other topics of discussion or questions, fire away. I got about 30 minutes left in this live, and then I'm going to go make Rubens. I know you do, Demo Man Don. I know you do. You're about my parents' age. It's nice. It's nice, honestly, because like some of my groups of friends, I'm the oldest. But it's nice not being the oldest in other groups of friends, you know, and lean on you guys a little bit. No, it's all good. It's good stuff. Almost to full SS Social Security retirement age 4 years ago. Hey, keep on trucking. Then you can double dip, right? VA SS. There you go. Practical Rifleman went to the range this morning, do some CCW training. Nobody was there except me. It was nice. It is nice when it's cold and like nobody's out. You just go do the thing. Yeah, it's nice when no one's around. Smoke them if you got them. Tuck. CT, USD guys, shut down, day shift all the time for violations. OSHA guidelines are written in blood, right? Vanessa Kitty, try for 2 more retirements by age 80. Hey, there you go. Yeah, you just gotta I feel you. Like if I'm not doing things, like I feel I'm extremely bored and feel useless. It's like no, that's why I'm always doing multiple things. Like what is it, Project ADHD or whatever? Like I don't know. It's just how it is. Like have to be doing things. Y'all are funny. Keep firing away if you got topics, questions. 30, just under 30 minutes left. Yeesh. Okay, another message here. Cool. Okay. Oh, you were a teacher too, Vanessa Kitty. Very cool. State level and federal level. Nice. Sitting pretty. Practical Rifleman, do I ever do any ghillie videos? No. Was never a sniper. I mean, I've done the scrim video for the scrim for the helmet and stuff. I think most I would do would be more what's called like what they call a bush rag ghillie. So it's not a full ghillie suit. It's just more from the torso kind of thing. Security Guy 42 put up it was the Art of Camouflage. I think it's part 2 No, it's the ending of the part 1 of the first one of the Art of Camouflage instructional DVDs they did back in the day. Those are great. I just I just point people to that. Like that's how you do it. Because they make a bona fide ghillie, and then at the end of it they do the bush rag ghillie. Like that's the kind of thing I would do more so than anything. But like the DIY, the snow poncho, that's perfect for that stuff. Um, so not really otherwise. Um, obviously I know how to do it and everything, and I know camouflage obviously very intimately, but it's just I've just never made one. Maybe at some point, but we'll see. Dumb man Don. So the Carhartt winter gear from when you live in Ohio. That's good. Hold on to it. That stuff is that old Carhartt stuff is gold. Budget training 22LR conversion or complete 22LR upper. I mean, sure. I just do 5.56. It's budget enough if you buy ammo in bulk, because you get good low CPR, price per round, cost per round. But I mean that's an option. It's just there's some elements to it, and it's the same with some of the other stuff out there, whether it's simunitions or the more realistic airsoft. I don't like airsoft. Like that kind of stuff. Like you're missing out on some of the recoil aspects. You're missing out on some of the other nuances of when using your actual systems in the intended cartridges and stuff. So just train with those. Um, that's how I feel about it. CAT. Yeah, that's good shit. It's funny. Jacob John, question. Does Wisconsin have a decent homeless shelter support system where you could work on a degree or recertification to re-enter the workforce with a new skill set? Yes. Major cities. Not like small towns and stuff, obviously, but yeah, the couple of major cities have a number of programs like that. And for veterans specifically, there's an organization called Dry Hooch of America. They're a national organization now. They have a place called the Valor House for veterans. So it's separate from like VA domiciliary and stuff. It is a veterans housing, and they do employment training and all that stuff. Apart from veteran education benefits that you can utilize while using domiciliary housing and then going to school or whatever. So yeah, there's options out there. Niskity, Barksdale, seafood incident, egg inspection. Jeez. A lot has changed since then. Head of the oldest dairy farm went to prison and all assets auctioned off. Wow. Practical Rifleman, you've done full ghillie suits, the hood poncho, lightweight one, I love. Yeah, the hood poncho, more like the bush rag style, or like your Cobra or Viper hood kind of systems. Like, yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely privy to that stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff. I dig it. See if we got remedies. We're no longer doing what the thug could do. Oh, okay, just talking about biz nuance. Chuck, thank you. Yeah, no problem. It's just, you know, is 22LR useful for that? Yeah, sure. But I mean, if you're going to be practical about it and you want the real world application, then just use your stuff, DOD talk. Jacob John, any specifics for non-vets? So there's a couple of new programs that just started just a couple of years ago, right around the Kung Flu period, that are still going. I think one of them's called like Oasis or something like that, and then there's a couple of other ones. I don't know. I'm not that well versed on it. I just know that we have those programs. There's a tenant resource center, which is county and state provided service that's separate from like your job center and stuff. Tenant resource center has a lot of resources and assets. They have a list of all those kinds of resources and stuff for the general public for housing assistance and all that stuff. And then the job center helps with some education stuff, but obviously, unemployment and all that too. But the local technical colleges around here are, in particular, are really good about education assistance stuff too. GED programs and everything else. So, but yeah, there's a number of programs. I can't name them all, but like Tenant Resource Center and some of those have really good options for that stuff for the general public that are having housing crises and want to get into a new line of work. They're still talking about some of the good old days there. Cold weather gear in Alaska is essential. Yeah, Michelin tire icon on your cold weather gear. That's pretty wild. That's definitely older stuff. You don't see that a lot anymore. Prepared Citizens, hey dude, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. For the whole 20 minutes I have left in my live stream. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad you tuned in. I'm glad you're here. Woot. Yes, Woot. Prepared Citizens, you talk to me about helping with the logo. Yeah, hit me up, dude. Happily work with you for another logo. Definitely can use the money because I'm going to have some legal fees for trademark filing and retainer and stuff for my camouflage brand. So any work right now is always welcome for the graphic design side gig stuff I do. So it's a slow season for security stuff. I was on response status coordinating yesterday for the stuff happening out west, but that's short term. That money doesn't go very far when it's short term like that. So it's a slow season for advising and consulting work. Companies just had fiscal quarter and year roundups and all that, and they're doing the restructuring, whatever they're doing for changes for this year and everything. So on-site advising work and all that, and consulting and everything doesn't happen for a couple more months. So I supplement that with doing a number of other things between music stuff, graphic design, commission work, and a number of other things, freelance consulting, author books. I'm an author too, a number of things. So got to get the ideas out and got to do something, right? So oldest sausage maker plant in Tennessee was closed down permanently from inspection. Yeesh. Yikes. Senator Ted Stevens in Alaska stopped all appropriations to the U.S. Air Force fall of '83. Made a speech. Oh, interesting. Change your logo there to your company logo. I mean, do you post company related videos on your channel? Because if not, I mean, you do you. But if you do and you talk about it, I mean, yeah, why not? Prepared Citizens, awesome. Been getting the generator ready for the ice storm. Nice. How's it there by you? I mean, typical winter temperatures. No snow on the ground, at least in my part of the state. We have a snowstorm coming in beginning of the week, this next week, though. Finally. It's been too long. Gotta run. Thanks for tuning in, Practical Rifleman. Cheers, man. Thanks for sticking around. Be safe out there. Stay warm. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. Vanessa Kitty, not yet. Company logos for teaching of leather and woodwork. Oh, cool. Very cool. 2A advocacy. Awesome. Very nice. Hell yeah. Throw it up then. Do it up. The more official presence and small business action, the better. Good stuff. What's the name of your leather and woodwork and teaching and all that? What's it called? I'll shout it out here. Shouted out a number of other ones earlier in the stream. I'll shout it out. The Kunin. Yeah, the Pistola. Yep. Classic. You don't have a webpage ready for the company yet? Oh, yeah, word. Fair enough. Yeah, I need to start a webpage for my camouflage brand. Again, doing this trademark stuff first. I'm just in that process of things. Once that's done, I can launch off with getting a website out and marketing material and all that stuff. I've already got brand guide for the licensees and all that. You know, I have like everything done up to the point where I need to have things done. So it's just a couple of other things that need done once the T's are crossed and I's are dotted for my camo brand. Buy more wood for this year's projects. Sweet. I really like watching the Blacktail Studio Cam. His woodwork is awesome. I can appreciate cool woodwork. It's a diminishing trade out there, so definitely cool that you're doing that. Same with the leather work. It's cool seeing dudes, you know, doing the leather work, guys and gals doing the leather work and all that. Josh Fortner's Frontier Leather and all those people, and seeing a lot of bespoke or small business, knife makers, and there's a number of those out there. My buddy in Mississippi makes knives. I know Practical Rifleman made knives for a while. You know, there's like all that stuff's really cool. So small business, gear makers and stuff. You know, there's a lot of good ones out there. Campaign furniture projects, chairs and stools, and oh, cool, very cool. That's good stuff. Very nice. About 15 minutes left on the live stream. Anyone else got any topics of discussion or questions they want to ask? Fire away. I will answer them as concisely and succinctly as I can. Fire away. Drawing a blank? Hey, that's okay. It's always cool just to hang out and shoot the breeze. Jeez. The phone is draining battery a lot faster than normal. I don't know what program is sucking the battery, but I can figure that out. Jacob John starting to get into leather knife sheath, mini kydex knife sheaths lack critical retention. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. So definitely talk to Josh Fortner's Frontier Leather, but kind of play with the kydex a little bit. Freaking get that figured out. CNT. You're funny. I'll kill you last. You're funny, Sully. You're a funny guy. I'll kill you last. Said you kill me last. I lied. Drops him off the cliff. Come on, you know the reference. You're old enough to know that reference. You fart. Nope, not part of that whole scene. Yeah, Commando. There you go. There you go. Classic. Oh, yeah. Yep. Love it. I love it. I love the retro. I mean, one of my all-time favorite movies is even older, the Flying Geese. Fantastic movie. There's another one that people always forget, and it was right at the late '80s, early '90s. Is Flight of the Navigator. It's one of those I think it was a Disney movie, maybe. I don't know, but it wasn't like really fit or appropriate for that. But like it was had Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman did the voice of the thing and the spaceship and all that in that movie. I remember that movie vividly. Got to go with Red Dawn. Oh yeah, classic as well. Absolutely. Big fan of the old horror movies too. You know, Nightmare on Elm Street series, Hellraiser. You know, all those two. Exorcist, Suspiria. A lot of good movies back then. Old Friday the 13th. Jacob John, another downside to Kydex sheaths I've noticed is that they take up way too much space and leave a large footprint because of the mounting options with the grommet holes. They are not minimalist at all. They are definitely chunkier. I usually just do it on my belt, and if I need to, I'll do a cordage lashing around the bottom, you know, where the knife point down at the bottom of the sheath. I'll do lashing if it's a Kydex, lashing around the leg, kind of like World War II commando style, so it doesn't rattle around too much. Um, footprint isn't terrible, but it is more considerable than leather. Yeah, I definitely agree there. Mounting options, it just depends on the sheath. Um, I'm all for the standard, you know, slightly hang loop securing to the belt, and then the two aspects of retention with the clip around the handle, and then the retention of the sheath when it comes to Bolteron or Kydex. That's just more my thing with that. Then my man Don, Flash Gordon, Flash, also classic. Old G.I. Joe, all He-Man, Masters of the Universe. CNT, Flight of the Intruder. Blue Thunder, that was another good one. The old oh god. It was Robert Schneider or Robert Scheider. Um right? Or was that James Woods? No. I think it was Scheider. I can't remember. Yeah, and that's exactly CNT. Yeah, Kydex you can get about the same size as leather if you don't do like the side paneling with the slotting and things like that. I think that's what he's more talking about. Um, in general, Kydex thickness obviously needs to be a certain thickness because it is a polymer and needs to be able to endure austere conditions. But yeah, you can get a similar footprint if you don't have all that extra stuff there. Yeah. About 7 minutes left. Any other questions or topics? Fire away now. Sinopa Swain, hi, hello, welcome to the live stream. It's just about over, but you just made it. Any topics of discussion or questions you want to ask? Fire away. I will answer that as succinctly but as quickly as possible. Anything you got? Hydrate. Mr. Biden gave you the day off today. Well, good. That's nice. It's Thirsty Thursday, too. Happy hour's already started. I think you got to catch up a little bit. No. What optics should you put on your AR-15? My preference is your fixed magnification prism RCOs, rifle combat optics. So Primary arms, SLX Gen 3 5x36. You could go with the 3X if you want to go with their micro 3X. They have a micro 5X now, or other comparable but much more expensive would be your Trijicon ACOG, your TA31, your 4x36, or 4x32. I wouldn't say LCAN Spectre. They're pretty unobtainium anyway, and they're expensive. Something like that. It's versatile. ACSS reticles are some of the best reticles on the market, especially for your typical combat type optics and reticles. I'm not a big fan of magnifier and dot combos. A lot of people are. I'm not. So I may not be the best person to ask about that. But yeah, fixed magnification prism RCO. Even if the battery dies, because you do get either tritium fiber line illumination or battery powered illumination. Even when the battery dies, you still have your reticle no matter what, because it's etched prism. That's another reason why I like them. That being said, there's nothing wrong with EOTech holographics either, or the comparable, the Vortex, the AMG, the UH1 Hueys, even though they don't make them anymore. You could do an LPVO. I mean, that's completely up to you. I don't use them all that much, but they're a fairly solid option as long as you have the versatility of magnification spectrum that you want, or that you need. They tend to be a little bit heavier, and obviously they take up more space on the rifle. You know, that's some of the cons. Apart from if you're gonna get one, get a quality one, so like a higher end primary arms. They're one of theirs, or the Vortex ones. Wish Nikon still made theirs, scopes and stuff, but the SIG ones are all right too. Very similar to the Vortex ones. It's an option. It's a solid option. You're always going to have your reticle, and whether you go first focal plane or second focal plane, whatever. This is for a lot of people. It's because it adds a lot more weight, and because of the size of them, they don't like them. Nothing wrong with them though. So you got a couple options based on what based on what your needs are, your environment, your wants on top of your needs. You know, there's a lot of things to factor in there. You know, even make a spreadsheet. You know, and start narrowing down, and then you can't choose between a couple. Start flipping some coins. You know. If you don't like the outcome of the coin flip, then you have already made your decision, right? So, demo man, rifle already weighs 12 pounds. Nice. Has battle rifle status there, boy. It's good stuff. My FAL doesn't even weigh that much, but still, I love my FAL. No, that's good stuff. That's cool. People that complain about rifle weight just need to get stronger. You know. I mean, there's stories of snipers that are lugging around 300 Win Mag and 308, 12-pound bolt guns and stuff up and down Afghani mountains. I mean, they can do it. You can. Wood furniture, nice. My AK, my Zasava Z-Pep M70 Serbian AK is wood furniture. I love it. I like wood furniture. It's got maple on it. It's quite nice. I like it. My buddy's got a set me with wood furniture on it. It is gorgeous. Kind of like between a walnut and cherry type finish on that wood, that old wood. Yeah, looks good. Alrighty. Well, shit. We're hitting that 2-hour mark. Alrighty. Well, I think that about rounds it up. There's some great questions, great topics of discussion. That was really good. So I appreciate everyone tuning in and asking, having great discussion and asking great questions and stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Um, yeah, appreciate it. And yeah, so this is I do one live stream a month. Occasionally I'll pop up on other people's live streams and stuff. So you'll catch me there, but I do one live stream on my channel a month, and it's these Q&As. And then otherwise, I try to have a fairly regular video upload schedule, 1 to 2 videos a week, Mondays and Thursdays, or one or the other. Sometimes Friday if it's a music release, but I digress. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in and hanging out and shooting the breeze and asking great questions and everything. And with that, I'm going to go make some food. Be cool, perps. Thanks again, everyone. And as always, metal up. Stay adaptive and stay lethal. Keep your eyes open, folks. Later.